Hi, this is Mark Laxer. It's April 23rd, 2020, and I'd like to discuss strokes and blood clots in the time of COVID. Increasingly in the news, there are reports of young people otherwise healthy, coming down with the COVID-19 virus and dying of blood clots and strokes. Exactly why this is and what the exact statistics are, people just don't know. Not yet. So, what is a stroke? A stroke is when there's a blood clot, a blockage in an artery on the way to the brain. So part of the brain that would be affected by a loss of oxygen dies. What do you do if you have a stroke? The best thing to do is to get to the ER, the emergency room of a hospital, as soon as possible. Call an ambulance. Don't be in denial. Get there, have someone drive you, get to the hospital. Every minute counts. So why is that? It's because if you get to the hospital more than 2 or 3, depending on your case, hours after the stroke, the people there will not be able to open up that blockage and rescue that part of the brain that's about to die. I know from personal experience. In 2016, I had a stroke and I was in denial, and I got there some 15 hours later, and that part of my brain that could have been rescued potentially went ahead and atrophied and died, and it can't come back. So get to the hospital quickly. What are the symptoms of a stroke? Well, for me, they were visual. So this is without drugs or alcohol. I was sitting with some friends and noticed, really actually without even turning my head, just by averting my gaze in certain directions, that things in the room would appear and disappear. It was like some kind of flashy kaleidoscope, very trippy, very weird, very disconcerting visual effect. And it wouldn't go away. And what was happening actually was that my right side peripheral vision was disappearing because the back side, this part of my brain back on the left side, was dying. So for me, it was a visual distortion that was the symptom. Other people have other visual distortions, but there are other types of symptoms for stroke victims, one of which is that in the face, there's a kind of a numbing or weakness. And it could be one side of the face, and sort of that could kind of droop down a bit. Or it could be an arm, a weakness or a numbness in an arm or a leg. It could be that the stroke victim is feeling really dizzy and having difficulty walking and sort of navigating the world. Another could be for a stroke victim that they are feeling that they can't understand what people are saying, or they themselves can't get the words out. So they're maybe unable to form the sentences, or just everything's coming out slurred, that sort of thing. So these are some of the symptoms that stroke victims have. And in this most troubled time, I'm wishing everybody health and safety, and we'll get back on our feet.